Hey guys, I went into a local grocery store the other day and, well, it's Price Chopper. Uh, Back in my younger days, it was called Piggly Wiggly, and I'm sure a lot of you Southerners know what a Piggly Wiggly was. But yeah, the deal was I had to go town, and I don't go town very often, but I went in to do a little bit of banking, and then I needed just a few fresh vegetables, a little bit of fruit. So instead of going across the river where it's so busy over there, I just stopped at Price Chopper. And Price Chopper's a pretty good little store, but I don't really shop there much. But I went in there just to pick up a few things, and I got my vegetables and my potatoes and onions and stuff. They have some really good onions there. I forget the name of them. Anyways, they're just really sweet. I'll have to find that out. But, so I went on around to the meat department, because I'm always looking at the meat, no matter where I'm at, just see what they're carrying, you know, different stores and the prices and stuff. And I'm making biscuits for tomorrow. But I went on around there, and they had these really pretty pork loins on sale for $1.48 a pound. And I don't have any, we haven't been eating a lot of pork lately because I don't have any fresh pork right now. But I've got some coming pretty soon. But anyways, I just couldn't pass it up because they looked really good. They was really pretty, really lean. And $1.48, I mean, you just can't pass that up. So I went ahead and I just bought one because, you know, it's just me and Danny here anymore. If the kids and everybody was still here, I'd probably bought two. But I bought one, and it weighed just a little over 9 pounds. But as I was looking at them, picking through them, you know, I thought, you know, this 9-pound pork loin would make me and Danny a lot of different suppers. And that's the way I do a lot of my bulk buying, is buying like that. And then they also had Farmer's Pride bacon. Now, I don't know if any of y'all know or have heard of that brand, but down here in the South, that's a pretty good brand. And when we were in the store business, Danny and I used to run a little grocery store up in the hills, and there was a meat man that would come by, and he would sell us meat for us to sell out of the store, and it was the best meat back then. But anyways, we sold a lot of bacon there, and it was Farmer's Pride bacon. Really good stuff. And to tell you how long ago it's been since we've been in the store business, we was selling that bacon for $1.49 a pound. And we wasn't making a lot off of it. We'd probably give, I don't know, Danny could probably tell you better, probably 99 cents a pound. So it's not like we made a killing off of it. But now it's almost $5 a pound. I mean, it's ridiculous how much meat is. That's why you got to, not only for health reasons, because it makes it better if you raise it yourself, or if you buy it off somebody it's pasture raised, and you know all that stuff. So, but anyways, I just couldn't pass this pork loin up. So I went again and got one, and I brought it home, and I laid it out, and I looked at it, and I figured out how much, you know, what I could get here, then come on down and figure out how many roasts I could get out of it, and how many chops or whatever. And looks like I'm sorry if that thing's all fuzzy for some reason. But I thought, and the way I had it figured out, I can get 9 meals out of that one pork loin. That pork loin cost me $14. So for $14, I figured out 9 different meals out of it. So anyways, I'm going to get these biscuits made, and then we're going to see what all I can get out of that pork loin. most people, when they purchase a whole pork loin like this, most of the time they're going to probably cook the whole thing, probably put it on the grill or smoker or something. But when I seen this on sale for $1.48 a pound, and there's just a little bit over 9 pounds of pork loin here, what I seen was several different meals out of this one loin. In fact, what I'm thinking I'm going to get is 9 meals out of this pork loin. And this pork loin ended up costing me about $14. So 9 meals for $14, that's a lot of protein for $14. So that's a pretty good deal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to get 9 meals out of this and the different cuts. Now on the cap end of your pork loin, that's what I'm going to make stew meat out of. And you can see where I've already started cutting. I wanted to divide it so, you know, I know exactly where I needed to be cutting. I didn't want any guesswork. So when y'all start this, you really need to plan it out. Figure out exactly what you're wanting, everything you're wanting out of this pork loin or whatever cut, you know, piece of meat you've got, and just plan it out and figure it out, you know, how many pork chops you need, how many roasts you need, whatever, and it should come out if you got it planned good. Okay, that end cap is going to be stew meat. Then I'm going to come down here to this ridge cap, and this is going to be stew meat. Now this is going to make 2 stews for me and Mr. Brown. There'll be 1 stew and then the second package of stew meat. Now down here next to the end cap are going to be your thin cut chops. So I've already started them, and I measured out about how thin I would want each chop. So I've got 4 thin chops, and you can use these for like breakfast chops. They'd really be good. So after the 4 thin chops, I'm going to come on down to about, and this is where what you're going to call the center cut chops will be next, and that's going to be your less fat and a little bit meatier chops. Now with these, I can 3 of them would be plenty for a meal for me and Mr. Brown, because what I'll do is I'll tenderize them and make pork cutlets out of them. So that's 4 meals. Our next cut is our roast. So this will be one of the roast. This will be good to put in a slow cooker and make barbecue, or put it in a pot of, you know, brown beans or something. Make Mexican beans and pork, and that would really be good. So I've got another pork roast right here next to it. So that's 1, 2, that's 6 meals already. So I'm going to go next to the second pork roast, to this cut. And this cut is next to what we're going to call the ribeye part of the loin. Will be your really good ribeye cuts, pork cuts. But what I'm going to do with this piece here, next to my roast and my chops, I'm going to do stir fry meat with this. So once I get this cut for my stir fry, I'll cut it against the grain in strips, thin strips, and that will be stir fry meat. So here at the very end, and on this end was the end cap, and that's where we cut the stew meat. And right here is your, what you would call your ribeye pork cuts. And I've got 4 of them. So I'm going to get to cutting this meat up, and we'll see what I've got. I'm just going to cut up this end cap. I'm going to make stew meat out of it and the other end cap. And pork makes really good stew. I really like the taste. And it's really tender. Put it with your vegetables. And there's different things you can do with this pork and, you know, the stew meat part. You can make carnitas out of it, put it in a slow cooker and put your seasoning in there. It's really good. You can make pork tips with rice. There's just all kinds of options. So I'm going to get this cut up, get it bagged up. So let's look at what I've got now. Back here I've got 4 thin cut breakfast chops. Here I've got 3 center cut chops that you can use, that I'm going to tenderize and use as pork cutlets. I've got 2 really pretty pork roast, loin roast, to make barbecue or just whatever out of it. I'm going to have 2 bags, 2 helpings of stew meat, which was the end caps. And I can either make stew, and pork does make really good stew. Or I can make like carnitas or something out of it. Back here I've got my pork ribeye. And then down here at the other end I've got my strips of pork cut for fajitas. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 meals. We got 9 meals protein for $14. So now I'm going to package it up and get it in the freezer.